So Xbox has kind of been in the news for this week or so because remember I was telling you before how Microsoft was supposedly going to put some of their games on the other systems,
Mm-hmm.
and people are freaking out about it. And I think part of the reason why people are freaking out about it is like they think that Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft are all doing the same thing, and like they're not. All three of them are doing something completely different. It's like Microsoft is the Xbox division is a small part of a giant corporation.
Giant, very giant.
Right.
Yeah.
No, $3 trillion, dude. It's
Wow,
like that's what. Yeah.
that's a lot of money.
So
Yeah.
yeah. So this. Let's see. So I guess they had a strong start. Da, da, da. So Phil Spencer, we're listening and we hear you. Been planning a business update event next week. We look forward to sharing more details with you and about our vision for the future of Xbox. Stay tuned. So it's like 99.2 thousand replies. It's like, does it sound like a guy who's worried about his job? No,
Exactly.
it
Not
doesn't.
really.
No.
Yeah.
So it's like, let's see. The Verge reported that Indiana Jones, The Great Circle, one of Xbox's biggest first party games of the year, might be headed to PlayStation after a short exclusivity window combined with other recent rumors like higher. It's actually a pretty cool game. And Starfield coming to other platforms. Seems like my Xbox might be loosening his grip on his exclusive game. Like, you bought Activision. Activision was a third party like gaming studio. Just like when they bought Minecraft. Minecraft is on everything.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like it's not surprising to me that they would do this. You know?
Right.
But for some reason it is.
I think
So
it's just the fact that I think people are so like, oh, it's always PlayStation exclusive, Nintendo exclusive, Microsoft exclusive. So I think
mhm.
when that word is thrown around, and then when it's not exclusive anymore, people were like, ah.
Well, all right. Microsoft has this thing called Game Pass, right? And
Yeah.
it's like Netflix. It's like Netflix for video games. Because that's kind of what they want. Depending on who you talk to, they have anything from 22 to 30 million people subscribe to this thing.
Wow.
You can either pay for the year or you can pay monthly. It's monthly. I'm gonna say $10. All right. So $10 a month. So imagine 30 million people spending $10 a month on average.
It's a lot.
Right. So how many consoles do you need to sell? How many games do you need to sell?
Hmm.
So yeah, because of where they're sitting at, like because Microsoft makes so much money off of Windows and Surface tablets and various other things. Like, would they want to sell more consoles? Yes. Is it going to kill their company? No.
No.
No. So, all right, in the last little 20 minutes, there is a IGN thing. So let's check this out.
Community's confidence in Xbox is seemingly at a low not seen in over a decade, since the Xbox One's online check-in requirements and the TV-first messaging instantly torched all of the momentum that had been carefully
Yeah, that was
and
real
brilliantly built up over the course of the Xbox 360 generation.
All right, so this is what happens when you get a person in charge of your company who lives in some kind of alternate universe. This dude, like, dude, for sure, they like, all right. Imagine getting involved with a cable company now.
Yikes.
Right. So, but this is what their idea was then, was for it to be your all-in-one device. right? So when the
Oh,
Xbox One came out, it was
uh-huh.
supposed to be you're all in one.
Right. Uh-huh.
You'll be able to do this and do that, and then you'll be connected online all the time. Like stuff that's just normal now, like stuff being online constantly all the time is just normal now. It was not normal when this came out.
Right. Uh-huh.
And it was like no sharing game. It was like this weird thing where it's like I have no clue what they were thinking, but that's who was just in charge of Xbox at the time.
Who wants a brand new Xbox? Yeah!
The root of the issue this time comes down to an existential question about the Xbox platform itself. Namely, why should gamers continue to invest in it? Because right now, the suggestion is that many of the things that make Xbox valuable could find their way to rival consoles. It started with whispers of last year's shadow-dropped rhythm action hit Hi-Fi Rush being ported to Nintendo Switch and possibly also PlayStation 5. Subsequent murmurs said the same about the long-running live service hit Sea of Thieves. These, I admit, didn't really bother me the way it irritated many in the Xbox community. Hi-Fi Rush is fantastic to be sure, but it isn't a AAA blockbuster release that draws new players into the Xbox ecosystem. Should it find its way to other platforms? Fine. Xbox players have still had access to it for free as part of their Game Pass subscription since it launched, and they'll continue to do so. Switch players would have to pay for the privilege of playing it. As for Sea of Thieves, well, that's a 6-year-old game, live service or not. It's just hard for me to get worked up about that one. But these latest rumors, if proven true, have the power to shake the very foundations of the Xbox brand. They suggest that everything might be on the table for possible PS5 porting. Starfield, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, and maybe even Gears of War. And these are rumors which, by the way, sure look like they have some truth to them, given that Xbox boss Phil Spencer took to Twitter to respond to the chaos saying, quote, "We're listening and we hear you. We've been planning a business update event for this next week where we look forward to sharing more details with you about our vision for the future of Xbox. Stay tuned," end quote. The whole thing gives off some serious resigned to third place energy from Microsoft, and it's left longtime Xbox fans, people who have invested thousands of dollars over multiple console generations, wondering why they should still support Xbox when they can just go buy a PS5, enjoy the many stellar exclusives that Sony is.
All right, there's not that many. Like it's like 12. All right.
For
Dude.
PlayStation.
Yeah, it's like ridiculous. Like both of these consoles, there's like almost no games on either one of them. There just happen to be less on the Xbox.
On Xbox.
So whenever I hear this kind of stuff, I'm like, dude, what do you? When it was the PlayStation, PlayStation 3 versus the Xbox 360, dude, the amount of games coming out, just boom, 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 boom. There's none of that.
Yeah.
Like you got to throw COVID and all that stuff in there. So I'm tripping out on like the doom and gloom stuff. It's like Android versus iPhone. All right. There was something I saw where some lady gave a suggestion that if you have an Android phone, to not take it out and use it in front. Like if you go on a date for the girl for the first time,
I think I've heard this. Yeah.
right? Don't use it in front of her because they have women who will curve you because you have an Android phone.
Right.
And it's like that is the most stupid thing I have ever heard. Because one, most people have an Android phone. The reason why, like, when they say that iPhones are the number one like thing, it's like, yes, when you're comparing an iPhone like Apple to a Samsung, not Samsung, Google, friggin' like all the other damn
Android phones. Yeah.
Right. So it's just like, I don't understand this, but it's tribal stuff. So everybody get a little tribal stuff. Why would you pick an Xbox over a PlayStation 5? Like, I have a PlayStation 5. The reason why I don't have an Xbox is one, neither one of them had any games on it. And two, when I got it, my PlayStation 5, there were no friggin' Xboxes for me to get. in hindsight, I wish I would have got because if I'd have waited a little bit, I could have got an Xbox. I wish I would have waited. To be honest, I would I enjoyed God of War and I enjoyed this, that, and the other, but I'd rather have an Xbox. So, like, I don't understand this thought process, but
decade plus cultivating and get whatever Xbox has to offer over there eventually. In short, consumers have shown Microsoft loyalty, but now it feels like perhaps it's not being reciprocated.
You can't just run away from your problems.
Truly, Xbox Game Pass is really the console now, not the Series X or Series S. It's been trending this way for a while, and it's admittedly weird to wrap your head around, but it's interesting to see it actually happening. You'll still get that good Xbox Game Pass deal and get it first on Xbox, but will that be enough to get people into your ecosystem? There is a potential winning strategy here, which I'll get to in a moment, but there's one other massive problem that's making all of this worse for Microsoft and for gamers right now. Messaging. I've been covering Xbox for a long time, and to be frank, I'm not sure its messaging has ever been this terrible. Frequently, it's hard to decipher what the company means. Last year, Phil Spencer told Eurogamer that, quote, "We think our games should be available in more places," end quote, but offered no concrete parameters around what that means.
all right, keep in mind, when they introduced Game Pass, they basically wanted to be Netflix of
Video
gaming.
games. Yeah.
They want you to basically buy a controller, and I think they had like a deal or something when they were trying to figure it out, because they're also working on the streaming stuff, right? Streaming your game.
Yeah, the cloud gaming thing I saw.
Right. And this is the whole crux of the issue that they have in Europe because they had control of it. So you throw that in there, and then like their investments in Chat GPT and all the other shit. So it's like, I'm not surprised that where this stuff is heading is like, and this brings me back to that interview with Putin, where it's like, the world is changing. You need to figure out how to fit in with the way the world is changing. All right.
Good point.
And so it's like, I think Microsoft is doing that. It's like, yeah, you may not be able to buy an Xbox system for much too longer, but you still be able to play all our stuff. That's why we bought Activision. So that we have all these IPs, and you can go buy you a new Samsung television and stream a game on your television.
Yeah.
On the Xbox channel or the Game Pass channel.
It's a good way of looking at it.
Right. So all this people freaking out about this. I'm like, again, does Phil Spencer look like he's about to lose his job? No. No.
Is
Definitely
it
not
more
doom and
places
gloom.
in the physical realm?
Yeah. So this is what I'm talking about. Android.
With
And
Game
they already
Pass
got-
going quite literally everywhere via phones and other portable devices? Or, as the rumors suggest, do more places equal rival consoles? Or communication around what Microsoft perceives as a place for Xbox has done nothing but damage to the fears and the discourse around the brand.
Maybe you should have built yourself a life of meaning.
On top of that, Xbox's messaging is almost always reactive rather than proactive. Brand is in a constant defensive state. It's been this way since 2013, and it makes Xbox look weak, honestly. Sony and Nintendo just aren't like this. But anytime Xbox takes a step forward, if you've noticed, there's seemingly a rake on the ground that smacks them in the face and causes them to stumble backwards, and it's always self-inflicted. Case in point, already in 2024, we've gone from, yay, the developer direct was great, to this whole mess now. Last year, they had a killer start to the year with the first Xbox developer direct and the shadow drop of Hi-Fi Rush until they failed to see the train wreck that was Redfall until it was far too late, hyping its first ever $70 first party game to be the next big thing from renowned developer Arcane, instead of seeing what was really about to ship and resetting community expectations accordingly. That constant one step forward, one step back, as much as anything, is why I think Xbox fans are simply exhausted at this point. As a hardware manufacturer and first-party publisher in the industry and one of the biggest companies in the industry overall, now more than ever, Xbox just needs to be better. That's it. Tell people what's awesome about the platform and then prove it. Show some confidence. Which brings me to the possible light at the end of the tunnel. What if, in the end, Microsoft is right? Sony has masterfully built its PlayStation walled garden, and Nintendo continues to successfully march to the beat of its own drum, for better and for worse, but console growth is not accelerating. Mobile growth is. If Xbox is everywhere on consoles, PCs, and phones, is that...
All right, you want to know what's crazy? In Japan, PlayStations aren't selling that well.
Yeah. I think hasn't that always like kind of been the case? Ish.
I think maybe no. I think the PlayStation 2 sold well, and I think PlayStation 3 is like, well, that sold like PlayStation
4,
2 sold well because of the DVD. I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And then the PlayStation 3 because of is that the one with the Blu-ray?
Blu-ray.
Right. That's why. But most Japanese people play on cell phones.
Yeah.
So again, it is you're making that shift. So it's like, okay, we need to start working on streaming stuff. So we're building up our streaming stuff. Sony doesn't have that. Nintendo can't get their online shit for nothing. It's like right. So you're holding on to this device that, it's cool to have whatever, but the next system is probably not like Microsoft just got rid of, I think they laid off a bunch of people in their physical games division.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. So that means, so if they make another system, probably not going to have a drive in it.
I think it's kind of like a sound decision that's, rooted in.
If you buy a computer, PC,
Yeah.
any games you play, all of it is digital, all of it.
Exactly.
Right. So you're not buying a physical, and so that has been the case for PC for years. I think Microsoft, because they're so invested in that, they're like, okay, we can see what a thing is going. Sony just started to put their games on PC in the last year or so.
See.
All right.
I think Microsoft is looking at the bigger picture, and because of their experience, like with Windows, they could kind of see that for Xbox. So it's it's not a terrible decision. I think it's hard for a lot of people to accept that they won't have like console exclusives. So
no, but like I said, Sony doesn't have that many. So all the ones that he showed were all the ones that they have. Which is not a lot.
Yeah, that's
it's
true.
Not like, it's not like it's 50 games. It's like it's 12. You're showing me like the same games over and over again. So I'm listening to the freak out, and I'm like, bruh, I'm not sure how long you expect this to happen. As soon as we got to the point where everything is working, it is not, well, it could be better, but everything is working the way that it is. The writing on the wall was on the wall for all of this. Like, seriously.
True. Yep.
So yeah, it's like I do like having a Switch, but with 5G and whatever the next iteration of that is, what the hell? Everybody got everyone has a 4K device in their pocket.
Yeah, that's true.
So you get the device where you just slide this shit into two controllers. Boom, there you go. You have a Switch. Screen's a little smaller.
That's the future of gaming.
Dude, it has a better computer This thing has a better freaking computer chip and probably video processor in it than my Switch does. So you make the screen a little bit bigger. So I was like, I can see why at some point you need to start making that shift. And Microsoft is just the first one to do that.
That the winning long-term strategy? Does Gen Alpha, talking about the 14 and under crowd here, even care about platforms? Do
No.
they just want games on all devices, but especially whichever device is closest to them at that moment, whether it's a phone or a console or a PC?
Yeah,
But
talking
even
about
if
my,
Microsoft is
desktop.
right, it sure could do a better job of telling everyone why it's confident it's right. Instead, Phil Spencer's message of, in effect, we hear you, we'll get back to you next week, is not particularly reassuring. The future of Xbox is likely to look very different from both its past and its present. But in this present, we are watching a monolith of a company attempt to rewrite the rules of engagement in real time. It might work, but will Microsoft throw away 20 years of hard-earned brand loyalty in the process? Stay tuned.
Mm-hmm.
Like, dude, I don't know what to tell you, bro. Things are changing. So it is just up. It's when do you make that shift? So I don't know. I don't even know how you can actually do that without upsetting people.
I don't think you can. Yeah.
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 Because
I think they are changing from like that brand loyalty to, having it be able to be accessed by everyone and everywhere at all times. Yeah.
yeah.